Greetings. I'm Christopher Logan Hildt, G.I. Joe Gamer. Today, Jake Pendragon is on hiatus, so I'm being joined by the Tiger. How you doing this week?
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
I'm doing fine. I was getting attacked by a kitty cat.
Well, that's what she does.
Oh. Did you get her in the door?
Yeah, I think I did. And that's what happens because I'm trying to get things done. And
no, she's out here. There she is. Hey!
So from the Hildt this week, we started out with our Hawk the Slayer tribute video, and that did pretty good. Then I had my Major Blood from the Hildt. Joe takes number 15, and no, it's 14, and 15 is going to be Gung Ho this week.
I don't keep track of numbers.
But that one did better than I expected. It did better than even the promo video, which was really good this week. Then on Monday we made some monsters on Lenharrow Fantasy Adventures Enhanced Edition, episode 4. Do you want to tell us what we made there?
All right, so we randomly rolled a little fire elemental. We've yet to name it. It's a little 1-hit degree monster, and it is immune to fire and lava. And we figured that it was something that a mage might use for like burning brazier, or maybe in a fireplace, or it could be even a lantern that they have on their what do you call that? The table that they do experiments on.
It's escaping me right now.
Right?
The alchemy table.
Alchemy table. There you go. So we figured that would be kind of a useful summon creature for a mage. The second one we made based off of a picture that was drawn for us by our kid. And
yeah, I actually have that right here. I was going to show it.
There you go. So we made this creature. It's called a druidic wolf. And we randomly rolled up what it does. Obviously, it does normal animal things, but we rolled up what its poison was, and it's got sleep poison. Those spikes on it does the sleep poison. And we figured these would be great for druids that, they created this creature or they bonded with it. Like maybe they bonded with a normal wolf and it just sort of mutated into this creature. So
they were actually a lot of fun to make. You're gonna have to take her because Shadow.
I like her.
It says, "Ha ha ha! I've never seen this show before, but I can tell right away you jokers are right up our alley." I hope so. we kind of play a lot of stuff by ear, but we like to have a good time. So. What's going on next week, though, for us is Joe takes 15, which is the next part of our Operation Dungeon Siege, which is Gung Ho from the Hildt, and that's actually going to be the first part of G.I. Joe Goldbricks. The first 4 parts of that were part of Cobra Conversion 7. If you don't know what that is, check out Hooded Cobra Commander 788's channel.
No, sweetheart.
And
go down here.
Let's see what he says. G.I. Joe, Attack on Titan, and Cats. What's not to like? Well, I actually haven't seen Attack on Titan, but she bought me the shirt today, and I thought it was cool.
Oh yeah, I'm sporting My Hero Academia here. My kids introduced me to this anime. It's pretty cool. Anyways, Monday we're gonna do Carnage, right?
Yes, Carnage session 2 actually. There's a bit they need to finish up in the Twin Hills Resort.
Oh yes, where they were attacked by cultists.
Yeah, that was last week.
Yes.
Well, actually, the game was week before last week.
2 weeks ago.
Now we're getting to the session 2 every other week.
So. Conclusion to that particular.
Wow. That's just part of Act 1.
Oh. Well, that's true. I'm just a player, so I don't know any of the goody details of any kind.
Well, we weren't able to play this week on Haven's Run, so that's kind of sad. But
yeah,
it happens.
Yeah, one of our major gamers got sick, so we decided to play board games instead.
What game are we playing? Well, we play Lenharrow Fantasy Adventures. It's a game that of our own design. Let me see if I can.
It's an RPG.
There. Let me fix it on the comments so that you can actually see that. Yeah, that's kind of our game system, and it's available on Amazon.com and DriveThruRPG. It's a simple fantasy adventure game. We took a long time to design it. When third edition came out, I kind of looked at my collection and went,
we got pissed.
well, this is useless now.
We got really, really pissed.
Well, third edition wasn't a bad game. It just wasn't for us.
No, it's just it made all of our old stuff almost useless because they changed the system. They reversed a bunch of stuff. All the monsters were different. They made the characters more powerful, the monsters weaker.
Which was a recurring theme.
Well, yes, that was a recurring theme. When you went from first edition to second edition, that was actually necessary because you were killing characters every other week. But the third edition, we looked at it and we're like, oh, well, that make a great
and we're talking about Dungeons and Dragons, of course.
Yes, we thought that it would make a great video game, and people who have used third edition for video games, the games have been great. We've loved them, but actual role playing wise, we didn't really care for it.
Actually, Cody actually is in the chat right now. He's going to be reviewing it, but if he doesn't have an issue with it, then I would be happy to send you guys a PDF to review on your channel. Our main goal really is to share Lenharrow more than anything else. Where are we located? Roughly, like what state? We are in Utah. We're north of Salt Lake, but like I said.
Yeah, we put PDFs on RPG and we put hardbacks on Amazon.
Right. Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you don't have.
They're all behind us. They're all right there.
Yeah, Amazon makes beautiful.
But
books.
Yeah. So
nice, good, solid books.
If your email is on your YouTube channel, I'll get it and I'll send you an email.
Anyways, we've been playing this game for years, and what we decided to do is we took the whole system, and we love all kinds of role-playing games. We played Marvel superheroes, we've played Shadowrun, we've played Dungeons and Dragons.
I played a bit of BattleTech.
We played Werewolf and Vampire, and so what we did is we
Marvel superheroes I played a lot of.
I love Marvel superheroes. That was pretty cool. Anyway, so we took what we loved about role-playing and broke it all apart into little pieces and put it together the way we like it. So, and we got rid of level because level has never made sense to any of us. When you're building a dungeon or when you're having an adventure, how does the adventure determine that, oh, this level, this is too big for you or too powerful for you? You're a character and you're with other characters, and how are the other characters going to know what your level is and all that?
Well, also the world around you doesn't care what level you are.
Yeah, so we went by skills. So we put it together by skills and gave them all different names and set up a system that every gamer we've ever played with has really liked. We've played in California with a bunch of people.
The only complaints we've ever had was our Dragon Man, which we called Drolls, was too powerful at that beginning character, a starting character, which is ridiculous because it's a Dragon Man. And so we kind of ignored that one because we only got one little complaint on that. And then we have too many options. That was our other complaint.
We do have a lot of options, but we have a lot of people who want to try a lot of different things. I don't know what
we haven't got any in the Traveler style. We're working on a Space Adventures version of our game. That's way down the line, but we are working on it. Villains and Vigilantes, not so much. That's kind of like superheroes, if I remember correctly. I haven't played that one. And Western, I would really, really love to put together a Western style game, but we just haven't worked on it yet.
I did do one similar. It wasn't a Western. It was a post-apocalyptic type game where they had guns and things. And we've had other players use our system to do other things. Like we had one guy, he did like a Star Wars-esque type world, and used our system for that. We've done something like Stargate, very similar. And then of course we did the outer space. We did, yeah.
Westerns are your fave. Well, I really enjoy Westerns myself. I didn't when I was younger. At least I didn't want to admit it. But movies like Silverado and Tombstone really won me over.
Right. Like you when you were young, you thought that Westerns were like an old person type.
I watched a Western night before last called The Old Way, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
With Nicolas Cage. Really good movie. It's a newer one. So if you get a chance.
I never saw that one. But...
Cody does have a channel. But you know, if I had time, I knew how to do it, I'd put it up on the screen for you. I could probably figure it out, but I'd have to open a lot of other stuff up. Anyway,
yeah,
we could talk our game system all night. So
that's very true. That's very true. When we normally put our games, we have a separate session for that.
Yep. Yeah, I totally agree. I just didn't get it, but as an adult,
yeah.
The other movie that kind of swung me to Westerns was actually Hawk the Slayer.
Really?
He says he's got a little channel. I like your little channel, Cody. You just look up GM Cody on YouTube. You can find him.
That's true. That's very true.
So what we got going on today is we were going to talk about Legend, but we'll the movie Legend, directed by Ridley Scott. But we can talk more stuff if you guys want on Lenharrow before we get. Or we can talk about it and get into that with any kind of. And if you guys have questions, throw them at us and we'll answer them. But I'm gonna start this little movie I made, a little video about Legend. And when we get to each new character, I'm going to pause it, and then we'll talk about that character. That's kind of how we do it. We don't actually do reviews here. We just talk about stuff. Yeah, well, there's like the movie poster. Two Mules for Sister Kara, my favorite Western. See if I can pause this before it comes off. Or you can jump back. Okay.
You reversed it.
Okay. These are your main characters in the movie. I did like to, if I remember right, I think I saw that in my early 20s. But it's been a long time. I watched a bunch of Clint Eastwood movies. If I remember right, he was the star of that one. Well, like I said, it's been a long time. But anyway.
What's that one with Mel Gibson? I like that one.
I'm going to, you know what? Can I mute the sound on that? I guess not.
I don't know.
Either way, which one? Mel Gibson? That was, Maverick.
It
was based on the old TV
I loved
series,
Maverick.
the old series Maverick.
That was one of my favorite
The Blix,
right
yes.
there.
I do have a couple of images of Blix. Maybe we can do this way. Yes, that looks a lot better.
Oh yes, okay.
Blix are not the most Blix. Are you not the most loathsome of my goblins? Yes.
Oh, I love the makeup on that.
Tim Curry is one of my all-time favorite actors. And we're actually going to do at least one of his movies a month on here, and I've decided. In fact, I might make this a Tim Curry month because we were thinking about doing Lord of the Rings next week, but I think that's been done to death. I did see Magnificent Seven. I'd like that one too. And Legend is in your top 3 fantasy films. It's one of mine as well. When we watched it again last night, I
liked this one, The Princess Bride, and Labyrinth.
Labyrinth
were my 3 top.
Very good ones. Not my 3, but they're right up there, man. Yeah. Love those movies.
Those are some of the ones I liked.
Let's move this.
But I love fantasy altogether.
So maybe an individual character.
What is it? Darby O'Gill and Little People.
Okay, Jack.
Cool. Yes, Jack's the main character.
Like I said, when we were watching last night, I was like, man, this is one of the coolest fantasy movies ever made. It really is.
Right.
It's the most.
The sets were amazing.
Fantastical. Maybe that's the wrong word, but
they used so many different types of techniques to get like a mood for every scene. It was just.
We do this while you're talking.
Yeah, it was just for me. It was just like Whenever I watched this as a kid, I was in awe, and there were definitely creatures and scenes in this that I thought were truly terrifying. To be honest.
Yeah, I'm putting something in the chat, but
okay, you do that.
Jack is an interesting character. It seemed like no character development at the beginning, on the part of the writers, and then they just ran with this character.
Well, he was a child of the forest,
right?
So he's kind of like our son watched it with us, and he was thinking, oh, so he's kind of like a Tarzan type character, and we're like, oh yeah, he kind of is. Like the forest raised him, I guess. Because when you first see him, he's teaching the princess how to speak to animals. So that was actually pretty cool.
It worked. He progressed rather fast, but one of the questions our son Jake.
You do know that when you go into battle, that
usually
does get progressed fast.
But one of the problems our son had with it was that now he knows how to use a sword. Now he knows how to use a bow. But I was like, well,
no, actually, it looked more like he was just trying his best to deflect the sword. But
other than that,
don't let it hit me. Don't let it hit me.
Other than that, Jake really liked it. This music is by my nephew, Jake Farrell, who
I really like that. Those scale nails. It's really neat.
Okay, so yeah, let's go past Jack and do the love interest. Let me know, and you'll be there. Hey, we do. We're going to be doing this show every Friday except in September, and then we'll let you guys know from there. But all through August, we're definitely going to be doing this show on Fridays, probably at 4:00. It depends on some of the other streams that hit. If I could have gone a little later tonight, I probably would have, because Old Geek has a stream today, and I actually was disappointed because I had to go do this, but I wanted to. I love doing these live streams, so it's a lot of fun. So we got Jack, and I'm struggling to remember her name. The princess. Lily. Yeah, that's right. It was a flower. I knew it was a flower.
It's Princess Lily.
But yeah, well, I'll definitely keep you up to date on what we're doing and when. As far as on the channel, every week I'll let everybody know when we're doing a Western, and I might just shoot you an email direct once I get your email address, or Shadow.
And this is where he's teaching her to speak to birds.
Oh yeah, that is right. Yes, it was Lily. Yeah, even while we were watching, I kept going, what was her name again?
Lily, the flower.
For me, it's kind of a inconsequential character for the most part at the beginning, and then she got more interesting to me once she was a prisoner.
When I watched this as a kid, I thought they found real unicorns. I swear. I was just so in awe with the unicorns.
Hey, do you let's see, Shadow, maybe I'll ask you this question. Do you know a Western that had Tim Curry in it? Because if there was a Western with Tim Curry, I'll definitely do that pretty quick if I can watch it.
Western?
I don't really remember a Western with Tim Curry, because I kind of wanted to do a Tim Curry theme this month. So we'll see.
We can look at that as IMDb.
Yes, we could. We'll look that up. But there's definitely some Westerns I want to do, is Silverado and Tombstone and some of those. Yeah, we'll be looking at some of those. But
we should have done that during Pioneer Week.
We should have. But I don't know how many followers we actually have in Utah. But anyway, Jack and Lily, I thought they made an interesting enough couple, if not simplistic. But for the story as a whole, it didn't really matter. And the unicorns, they looked really great.
I thought it was real enough. And I love how they used like a whale sound for their. Yeah, they used the whale song for how they sounded.
That was interesting.
That was very unique,
because they kind of combined it with horse whinnies.
Yeah, they have horse whinnies, but they also had a whale song, and it just made them more surreal.
Shadow is one of my favorite films, so I definitely will. That definitely is in my top 5.
Oh, The Shadow, yes.
Right up there with Clue.
Sorry.
I love those. I love pretty much anything with Tim Curry was a great movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, Gump was an interesting elf. Really.
This kid was great as an actor. Oh my goodness. He did a wonderful job. He acted like he was hundreds of years old, but he also had that youthful exuberance as a child. And it was just like, what? They had the perfect guy for that, I think, that part.
And his eyes were just intense.
Right.
For somebody who was so young, really.
That's what I'm saying.
It makes me wonder if he was a young guy or he was just an older guy that looked young.
Well, that's true. He could have been.
I know they had a woman dubbing over his voice, but because that definitely wasn't his voice.
Oh, well, he whispered the whole time.
A lot of it, yes. Yeah. But I like Gump. He was an interesting enough character. So, let's see what we got next. I wasn't able to get all the characters. I had a really hard time finding pictures. I should have actually taken clips right from the movie now that I think about it. But I'm just getting used to learning how to do that kind of crap. Not my this one really isn't my field. Gump was dubbed. Yes, Elfbait. Welcome, Elfbait. Yes, Gump was dubbed. Does that mean Old Geek is done with his stream? I wanted to check his show out longer, but I had to come do this because he had an interesting thing going on. I can't. This is the one that had the wine on his head, and what was his name?
I got both of those. Those ones. His German accent was too thick.
Oh, is that why they dubbed it?
Makes sense.
That's cool. No, I couldn't pay attention to focus on his play through. Yeah, Shadow says howdy, Elfbait. Cool.
Yeah.
Do you remember what this character's name was? I had a hard time with that one too, because I remember Screwball.
Was it Screwball?
That was Billy Barty.
Snowman or something.
I don't remember. I don't remember this character's name, but he was more dwarf-like than the rest.
Yes.
And I think Screwball was more gnome-like, and Gump was their elf. It was kind of. They kind of had an adventuring party, but not in Legend.
They each had their own role to play in the adventure.
Which was kind of cool.
Yeah.
And they just kind of suddenly showed up. Oh, Jack.
Here he is.
Or is it Blix or Glix?
Blix.
Blix, that's right.
Blix. When I was younger, this guy gave me nightmares. The makeup on this was just so...
That one and the hag. I couldn't find a picture of the hag.
Well, that's true, the hag. Oh, my God.
And it surprised me to find out that the hag was played by Robert Picardo, which is the guy that was the doctor on Star Trek Voyager, the emergency medical hologram.
Yeah, that's fascinating. But yeah, this guy definitely frightened me when I was younger.
The goblins were cool, and it was also cool that one of them was actually one of the elves.
Oh yeah, that was actually kind of cool. I did like that. That was pretty neat. And then they had the pig man, the pig guy. Yeah,
the very different goblins.
The goblins were very different from each other. That was for definite sure.
Meg Mucklebones. Was that the name of the other one? Elfbait has a lot of knowledge on movies, especially fantasy movies. And he has a channel too, so everybody should check him out. He's got a cool show. He's got cool stuff going on his channel.
Yeah, this guy definitely made me believe evil was real.
Oh, the hag. That's right. Her name was Meg. That's right.
Oh, the hag's name was Meg.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and that was actually played by the actor Robert Picardo. I thought that was very interesting. But then again, it doesn't really surprise me because he was one of the main werewolves in The Howling.
Yeah, she totally freaked me out too. They had her with the long nails.
He did such a good job.
Oh, such a creepy character, and the makeup on it.
I tried to get a picture of her, and I don't think that I did.
Kudos to the makeup on these guys.
Blix had his moments. I love this piece of art.
Really cool piece of
I think this
art.
was just it was a movie poster, and I found the image of it.
That is nice.
I really liked it, and I ended up using it as the thumbnail for the tribute video.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's nice. I like that.
So yeah, it's a cool one. I like that artwork. I didn't actually get a lot of artwork, but
here we go. This guy.
Meg was the troll. Well, she was kind of a hag. It was kind of weird. Was she a troll or was she a hag? or was it a guy
She
or a
wanted
girl?
to eat the boy.
Yeah, so I was.
That makes her a witch.
I thought she was some kind of witch or hag. We call corrupted witches hags.
Yeah, she wanted to eat the boy, so she was a child eating witch.
She could have been a female troll.
Well, I suppose so. She still wanted to eat the boy.
But Tim Curry as Darkness. Awesome.
Oh man,
I can't imagine what that getup was like though. That headdress had to be heavy.
Tim Curry's voice just makes me melt. I just got to tell you that. I'm sorry. It is just. He's got this voice.
He's a really good singer too. Had his own band for a long time.
Oh, I know. I've heard him sing. I watched a movie when I was younger called The Worst Witch, and he actually sings as the Grand Wizard in that. I mean, I know he sings in other things, but that's where I fell in love with him and his voice because,
Well, it wasn't Rocky Horror Picture Show.
I didn't see Rocky Horror Picture Show until I was much older, like an adult, not like.
He just calls her a troll. Yes, he was. In many senses of the word, she's a troll.
She was doggone creepy.
Yeah, she was. And I wish I had an image.
She was a horrifying monster to run onto in the swamp, for sure.
I had honestly forgotten she was in that movie till we watched it last night. I'm all, oh man, I wish I had pictures of her.
Oh, she's so creepy.
She was
so creepy.
He was awesome as Darkness.
Amazing as Darkness.
Just the portrayal in his eyes and every movement that he did as Darkness he was saying, "I am Darkness." Mm. Through he got so into this character. I think he really believed he was Darkness. I mean,
I don't know.
He looked like he really owned the role. He owned it.
He probably had a serious headache with them horns.
That's what I'm saying. That headdress.
I mean, I'm sure they were hollow, but still coming out all the way out to I don't know, this.
Because of a deal with a hag. Yep. His players in his 5EA game ended up having to commit a heist because of a deal with a hag. I've never actually run a true heist game. I would love to do that.
We did steal something before.
Yeah, but that wasn't the focus of the game.
We had to steal from cultists before and not get caught.
Well, this is true, but I wouldn't exactly call that a heist.
Well, it was because we couldn't stay because they were going to kill us.
Well, that's a grab and run.
Well, yeah, it was a grab and
run. Heist, you got to have your con man.
Well, okay. Well, look. We tried to do it without being seen.
There's that.
But we have never had a group that could do it without being seen.
Cody says Meg is probably one of his favorite monsters visually in any film. One of them. I agree. And Elfbait adds she's a quality monster. Yes, such a quality monster. It was a nice little segue from getting him from where he was in the forest to Darkness's stronghold.
Well, they had to go through a swamp.
They went through the swamp and ran into that witch, and it was just that hag was just nasty.
And he used his charm on her.
Behind her would be Medusa for the yes, Medusa from Clash of the Titans.
Oh, I want
to do that movie on here at some point too.
Clash of the Titans. Oh, I love Clash of the Titans.
And kind of compare it to the new one.
That would be nice.
I prefer the original.
Dude, I prefer the original too. I am an old school for sure. A fan of old
Clash
school.
of the Titans is great. This is what we like to do. We just like to talk fantasy stuff on here. That's what we like to do. Just have a good time and talk fantasy movies or maybe westerns at some point. Shadow. Well, let's see what we got next on here. Like I said, it's not very long, and I had a few images.
Oh my gosh, I love that picture. Oh no, they had to dress him up for a photo shoot on that one. That is amazing.
Elfbait says he watched Clash of the Titans the other day on YouTube. Beastmaster for the win. Yes, that's in my top 10.
I love Beastmaster so much. My favorite character to make was from Dungeons & Dragons. They had a Ranger's Handbook, and it was called a Beastmaster.
Yeah, they one of the kits was a Beastmaster.
It was my favorite kit of all time.
We like the kits so much, we incorporated professions into our game system, and it was kind of loosely based off kits. Elfbait says, my next fantasy campaign is going to be a heroic Greek myth style game. That sounds cool.
Nice.
But there he is in all his glory, and it's again there. That just proves my point. He owned the role.
Right.
I am darkness.
Look at that.
Yeah, I couldn't count how many times I've seen the Beastmaster.
I'm actually kind of curious if those ripped muscles were his. He's like seriously ripped.
I couldn't say.
Well, no, they could have put makeup over it, but I don't know.
This is why it's nice to have a female perspective, because that's not something I even think about.
But look at it. He's totally ripped, even in his arms.
He's about to say anything Harryhausen. Yes. I even like the old Jason and the Argonauts. I love that, and I've got the trilogy of Sinbad movies by Harryhausen.
Yeah, all those little stop motion monsters. I love those.
But Elfbait has your answer. It was a breastplate.
Ah, okay. That's cool.
Thanks for the trivia, Elfbait. That was cool. Let's see. Now I think we've seen enough of darkness.
No, I can put the darkness a little longer. Really.
There it goes into Dave Taro did the music. Anyway, that's our little video on Legend, and it was a breastplate, yeah. But as much as I wanted to include more on it, I think our little mishap last week with.
Oh, I know you missed the other little elf guy with the white-haired dude.
Yeah, I missed Screwball. That was actually Billy Barty.
And then the fairy.
And the fairy. We had an image of her in the.
Yeah, you did. You did, but you didn't.
Her name was Una.
Yeah, Una. I always thought that was a cute name.
I completely agree, Shadow. Harryhausen was a genius. His claymation was just incredible. And I wish that he had done more films, but the work on that had to be tedious and time-consuming.
Oh, well, yeah, it still is. They still do stop motion on some things.
Oh,
it's not as
G.I. Joe Play Motion, G.I. Joe Bird. Yeah. Check those guys out too.
Yeah,
they do some good stuff.
No, I meant like on like big screen and stuff. Like I think Box Trolls was stop motion.
Cody says love that film. Those stop motion skeletons are wicked.
I love
the
stop motion skeletons.
On which one? So cool. On Jason and the Argonauts.
All of them.
All of them. Yes,
all of them.
Maybe the lizards, not so much, are on Sinbad. That one where he fought the lizard. I
actually like the one-horn
Hey,
Cyclops.
Spencer, welcome.
I like the one-horn Cyclops. The with the horn, the Cyclops.
Spencer actually games with us on Sunday sometimes. In fact, he's over at our house quite a lot.
Yes, so, maybe so.
Yeah, the one with the one horn. That was cool. Yeah. The Cyclops. Yeah, that was interesting how he gave him a horn. Hey, don't get me started on Army of Darkness, Self-Bait.
Oh, yes. Army of Darkness.
That's in my top 3 right there. Army of Darkness.
That one was so funny.
If we were to pick a top 3, that'd be a hard press.
Army of Darkness is how this guy introduced me to what's the guy? The
Bruce Campbell?
Bruce Campbell. He introduced me to Bruce Campbell.
We might do a Bruce Campbell month once.
Yeah, with them going into the past. Oh my gosh, they started worshiping his car. Oh my goodness.
Cody agrees with you. Funny. All of them.
Yeah, all of them.
Your roommate dragged you to that movie 4 times. Was he really dragging you? Or did you love that line?
Was kicking and screaming.
You're not in charge of. You're in charge of Jack and shit, and Jack's left town. That was my favorite line of that movie. I'll never.
Really, I like. You're the good Ash. I'm the bad Ash. Good, bad.
We can talk that movie all day, man.
Fistful of boomstick. They made that video game. It was pretty cool.
Let's see if I can bring that video back up, and I'll put it up on as. There it is.
Which video?
Legend. So I can put the movie trailer back up when it comes up.
Right. You doing that again?
No, so we can, if we want to keep talking about it, we can. This is what we did today. This one right here.
See, that's the only picture you have the fairy. There. That's the only one that had the fairy. Dude, I actually like how they used his shield multiple times.
Saw Army of Darkness at least 50 drive-in hosts. Hosted by Bruce Campbell.
No, that sounds cool.
This is the 3rd and 4th time that you weren't being drugged. I mean,
that sounds cool.
Bruce is a righteous dude. Met him 4 times. That would be cool.
That would be awesome.
Of all the celebrities out there, he's one of the ones I wouldn't mind meeting.
I'm not sure which one I'd want to meet. I'd be too nervous.
I tend. It's not for me. It's not about nervous. is I don't want to be disillusioned by their real life character, because I know a lot of actors are selling a persona. Some aren't, but most are. I would rather believe the illusion. I mean, do I really want to meet Harrison Ford? No. But do I love Indiana Jones? Yes, I do.
Harrison Ford is not one of the ones that I want to meet, that's for sure. There are some I wouldn't mind meeting, but
like Tom Cruise, I could care less. I mean, he might be a cool dude in real life. I don't know, and I don't know.
A lot of people said he's cool though.
A lot of people have said other than that too.
John Rhys Davies might be cool.
Yeah. But yeah, Bruce Campbell, that would be cool. Another one I wouldn't have mind meeting was oh man, it's been a while since I even thought about stuff
Linda
like
Carter.
that.
Oh,
okay. Well, that's
the original Wonder Woman.
That's a different fantasy altogether.
She was my hero.
She's your hero.
Yeah.
All right. I think we're done looking at Labyrinth. I mean, we want to look at Labyrinth. Yes.
This is Legend.
So maybe we'll do Labyrinth next week. Maybe I'll let you pick.
Me?
Yeah, why not? Jake doesn't want to.
I want to pick something animated.
That's fine. We can do animated, but maybe
I love animated.
Maybe we'll do a Western. Maybe we'll.
Ooh, not Fire and Ice, but one of those.
Fire and Ice was great. Ralph Bakshi.
Maybe. I don't know.
Well, we were thinking about doing a bit of Lord of the Rings next week, but like I said, it's kind of been done.
We were talking about not The Last Unicorn, but the other one, Flight of Dragons.
Elfbait says he met Rutger Hauer at the Seattle premiere of Ladyhawke. Rutger Hauer is awesome.
I love Ladyhawke.
And yes, we definitely. I'm saving Ladyhawke for a special occasion. I really, really want to do that.
Ladyhawke is amazing.
But I want to do that one justice. And Rutger Hauer, he seemed like a cool dude. Yeah. I wish I could have met him. Jim Cody says he is really a nice guy. Every time I met him, we talked for a long time. He loves tattoos, for your information. And I'm sure that's Bruce Campbell who he's talking about.
I don't know.
It's a possibility.
I
was there in full Scottish kit taking tickets. Wearing the kilt and the whole bit there. Is that what you're saying, Elfbait?
Did you do the proper wearing a kilt? Or were you wearing boxers? I wonder.
Yeah, let's not wonder too much.
No, I wasn't really wondering. Don't tell me. I wasn't really wondering. I wasn't even thinking about it. I was just being funny, really. Anyway, so
Jim Cody's envious. He wanted to meet Rutger Hauer too. I wouldn't have minded. You know, I think he died a little too soon, but he was a great actor.
Anyway, so what do you think about A Flight of Dragons?
Flight of Dragons would be good. I love that movie.
I love A Flight of Dragons.
What do you guys think about Flight of Dragons for next week?
That's what I said. You're going to ask me. I'm going to pick something animated.
SCA group got tapped for usher duty. What is SCA, Elfbait?
San Marino, California. Oh, sorry.
And yes, we were all regimental. It sounds like
I'm not sure what any of these mean.
A regimental is like army style. But,
well, I figured that. That part I got. That's the only part I got.
Yeah, as a G.I. Joe fan, I got that one easy.
Well, of course you got that easy. You're the one that knows the rank file and whatever.
It sounds like one of those that do reenactments. Is that what that is? The SCA Elfbait will.
So everywhere I look, I'm surrounded by small little men.
Historical reenactment group, yeah.
Oh, okay. Those are cool, actually. I've never actually seen them except in parades, but I always thought it was kind of a neat idea, you know, putting on historical garb and acting out like old wars and stuff like that. I've always been fascinated by that.
Thanks, Elfbait. Cool. I like to learn new stuff on here, so when we get people in the chat that help us out with new stuff, that's cool.
Yes, research is one of my favorite things to do. Wow. You know, and every time we run into a new weapon,
I take her research and I play with it.
Well, yeah, he does. He does. Or he'll give a question, and I'll be like, okay, I guess I got to do some research on that. I'm apparently good at research. My mom makes me do research too.
Well,
how do you take care of a peach tree? I don't know.
Bird of a different color.
We'll do some research. All right, I'll do some research. Apparently, you take off 1/3 of the fruit.
What is your one criticism of Legend? Because my only one is
too much glitter.
Glitter on top of food. Yeah.
We were actually commenting on the glitter.
It was visual great, but kind of poor on acting and story. Yeah,
It
was story light. Yes,
they went a little overboard on the glitter for sure.
It's like Ridley Scott goes, "I want to do a fantasy movie," and they said, "Here, take this," and he went, "Really? All right."
And they took a whole bag of fairy dust and just powdered the whole thing with it.
Every time you turn around, Tom Cruise is supposed to be sweaty, and he's got glitter.
Everywhere. Everyone's got glitter everywhere. I wouldn't be surprised if they were washing off glitter for weeks after that.
It was the 80s, so they were a little glitter crazy.
Glitter. So yeah, I think that would be my major criticism, would be the glitter.
Yeah, not much to the, again, like you said, not much to the story, Elfbait. It just kind of happened.
Okay, look, I was a kid when I watched this, so you don't have, when you're a kid watching something, you don't have to have much story. It was enough to have unicorns and scary monsters in it for me.
Did it really? He says, Elfbait says, also it burned down the famous James Bond soundstage.
Really? Well, they did have a lot of fire in it. That wouldn't
I'm digging the trivia you're throwing at us, Elfbait. That's cool. Thanks.
Yeah. What is it? Some of the scariest scenes had a lot of fire.
I actually wouldn't mind doing a few James Bond.
I am kicking down your little clips, by the way. I don't know what happened to the other one.
Well, they're magnets.
I know, and you have them right here, and I've just been playing with them, and now they're gone.
Yeah, Jake played with the chip clips with his peach fuzz too.
His peach fuzz? I wasn't playing with my peach fuzz. I was just.
Jim Cody says they surrounded the whole stage with mirrors to make it appear larger. It was. Right.
It didn't seem like it was very big.
Ridley Scott has this eye for, I don't know, a lot of things. I mean, a lot of his movies are like that. I think filming it on the soundstage gave it an interesting quality. Yeah. But they burned it. They ended up burning it down. I'm hoping that was an accident.
I would imagine. But like I said, there was scenes in the dungeon that had lots and lots of fire.
This is true. This is very true.
Not surprise me.
I did like the way the dungeon.
When they were fighting those two giant things, whatever they were in the dungeon, there was a lot of fire down there, and they were torturing people. That was really terrifying.
There was a scene that was a little confusing because they actually had 3 guys in that room. So I'm wondering if they cut some.
Yeah, but I think the third guy was being chopped up.
No, there was a third torturer.
No, I'm pretty sure there was a guy on the.
There was a guy on the table being cut up too.
Yeah.
They had birds living in the forest. And were the actual birds living on the set?
That wouldn't surprise me.
No,
that wouldn't surprise me. We're from California originally, and we had birds living in almost every part of any school I ever went to.
I'm sure that happens in a lot of places.
They always have these like spiky things to keep the birds out, and all those spiky things do is make it easier for them to make a nest.
Yeah, Elfbait says it was actually a buildup of gases under the ceiling that got touched off at night.
Oh,
yeah, that makes sense.
Okay,
that's too bad though. And you know what? Until it's happened, how do you know that's going to happen? I mean, there's careful, and then there's I can't make this movie because we're being too careful. Oops. Yeah. Oops. Yeah.
Oopsie. Too much gas.
Can you imagine being that get up as Tim Curry and actually passing gas while everybody's in the set?
Well, no.
He probably pulled it off and he goes, even my gas stinks.
What? No. Why do you think it's such weird things? That is such a weird thing to just suddenly mention.
Yeah, the mind of
I'm in this full costume, but now I'm passing gas.
Your mind of an old gamer.
Yeah.
What pops into our heads?
Dick and fart jokes, huh?
Probably.
That was many a conversation many of our gamers have enjoyed having. How big is my character's penis?
Yeah.
And it's like, what? Why? Do we have to know?
Roll it up.
Oh my gosh, no, don't do it!
No,
don't do it!
I had to draw the line eventually on that one and go, okay, we're not doing that anymore. This is ridiculous.
Use your own imagination, okay?
I should have drawn the line on that one from day one, but...
No, of course not, because we had to go... I mean, you had to have a bathhouse scene, and I'm playing this little elf dude, and apparently I had the biggest one. And so everybody kept messing with me after that, and it was just like, what is it? One gamer called me a water snake. I'm like, what the heck, man? Leave me alone.
Gaming groups can go in weird directions, and
I even told them not to roll. I said, no, I don't want to know. No, nobody needs to know. It doesn't matter. No. Did it anyway.
Well, it was kind of out in the open, and they wanted to know, and it was like,
I know. And then, of course, you role played off of that, and then my character ended up getting, like, proposals from random damsels all the time.
yeah, there you go, Elfbait. That's kind of where I am with this conversation.
So that's what I'm saying. Don't do that.
Okay, no more.
It's not necessary.
I did. I could.
Okay, it's not unnecessary.
It isn't necessary.
Unnecessary. Okay.
we got into one of those debates, Elfbait. It's no more. Okay.
Now we should talk about role playing snowball fights.
Yeah, we did that once. That was fun, but it only works once. Certain situations,
snowball fight.
Certain situations only work once, and they had such a good time with a snowball fight. Like,
spent hours throwing snowballs at each other.
I guess Californians don't see snow very often.
No, we don't. It was probably really hot too. I don't even know. But that was fun though. Or the time they tried to kill a poor little innocent fox, and you just decided to make him immortal.
Well, that was, why are they killing a fox? I was like,
food.
Fox ended up being a permanent fixture in our campaign, and it's in our creature guide. Fox with 2 X's.
Can only die by drowning.
And basically, they were in the Happy Hunting Grounds, and I'm like, you're trying to kill this random fox? Okay, so he can't die.
Wouldn't that mean he's already dead if he was in the Happy Hunting Grounds?
Not necessarily. They had creatures living there.
Oh, okay. I thought that was like a heaven.
Oh, well, yeah, we ended up calling it something else, but it is sort of like that, yeah. But they have creatures living there too. But what stage of development were they in? And AD&D got into some weird, convoluted levels of what was dead and what was.
Oh my goodness! Don't even get me started on that.
No,
especially when they were doing level drain. I remember you were telling me about how bad level drain was. You had a cavalier, and he was only like 5th level, but he had like over 200 hit points.
Well, what had happened is I built this cavalier up to like 12th level, and he got level drained. And when originally you're supposed to roll to see how many hit points you lose. Level drain, it is awesome if done correctly. Well, our problem we found with it when we added characters like cavaliers who had a D12 hit dice, they ended up getting. I would roll low to lose hit points and roll high to get hit points back. So legitimately, by the rules, I had a 5th level cavalier with over 200 hit points, and it was ridiculous. Just by being level drained so many times.
See, we would just take him and put him in the front of the party. And he was the tank. What
I do with level drain is we call it life drain, and they permanently absorb those hit points, or they drain blood. They generally don't do both, but some creatures can do both.
Yeah, you have to earn those hit points back.
I miss what level drain represents, but not how it was written in the books, at least how I interpreted it.
Yeah, we give our characters a hit point cap based on what race they are. So,
unless they become an advanced lifestyle.
Well, yeah, advanced lifestyle, they get some craziness stuff there. You can have like 500 hit points as an advanced lifestyle if you've played that character that long. Anyways, but generally speaking, we have most of our races have a maximum of 50 hit points. We figure anyone who has more than 50 hit points, like Animen will get like, I think 65 maximum hit points. But
Update says level drain was just an abstraction. Yeah, it was very abstract.
Well, see, the other thing that didn't make sense with level drain is how do you forget your skills?
Well, also when we made our system, we took level out, so we had to refigure how all of that worked. And I like
draining your life force is one thing, but how do you forget how to start a fire?
I like the concept of what level drain represented, but it's like, what if you gained a proficiency? And then you got level drained. Would you lose the knowledge of how to do that thing?
Yeah,
and we use proficiency. So a lot of it just got confusing, and especially with the hit points. And the only solution we found to that was to give everybody a set amount of hit points every level, and that took away.
You lost the spells you learned.
Yeah, the last spells you learned.
You don't even know how to do them anymore. It's like, what? How does that?
The concept is fantastic, and it's scary for the character to have that in the game. So we definitely kept the concept in the game, but we just had to change the way the mechanic worked.
Yeah, so basically level drain in our games is you permanently lose hit points.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they can be restored through magic.
And again, as well,
that's how it was.
Since there's no levels, it doesn't really matter. You just have a hit point
Levels could be restored through magic too.
Well, yeah, they could.
Within a certain amount of time. After a certain amount of time, we don't allow it to be restored.
Yeah.
They have to earn it back.
Generally, we do like the 3-day thing.
Right. Yeah. And some powerful priests and stuff can do it longer.
Oh, well, sure. If they're like a 10th rank caster, they could probably bring back any of your lost hit points from 3 years back or whatever. You know. I
would say up to a year per rank of the spellcaster, but that's just me. That's a simple method of doing things. But
or we could just beat them up again until they get their hit points back.
Well, yeah. That's not going to work.
Keep training. Get into more fights.
Let's see. Elfbait says, so to understand level drain, you have to understand the literature that inspired it. You were draining the victim's essence. D&D was very esoteric in its cosmology. Yes, it was. Good night, Cody. You take it easy. We were going to sign off here in a little bit anyway. We generally try to only do these live streams for about an hour, so you take it easy, my friend.
He's going to watch a show with his wife.
Well, that's good. We did that last night, too.
Yes, we did. We watched Legend.
And then I missed everybody, and everyone was gaming last night. I was like, oh!
I'm sorry. We were watching it as a family, except we had a party pooper.
He says, Elpe says, take a look at some of the early literature that features the undead and the shock and horror people experience when confronted by them. This is true. I definitely love Bram Stoker's Dracula.
The Strigoi were really scary.
Shadow says, take care, Cody. I'll sub after the show. Anyway, they started playing there in Hack again last night, and that was a very cool game. I wanted to keep watching it. Anyway, we can't be everywhere at once. Now I'm learning that the hard way.
Well, I think you're doing too much anyway, but that's okay. You're having fun.
I'm enjoying
and it gives you something to do, and I don't mind.
He says, you two, dude, good to meet you. I know you guys can read this, but since there's only 3 or 4 of you in the chat.
I know, you've been like throwing them all up there. Just throw them all up there. Just throw them all up there. Oh, we don't have 50 people, so that's cool. So.
And Shadow says, ditto, Cody. Elfbait says, there's a lot of talk of feeling outside themselves or withered in their very nature, etc. Yeah, exactly. So we took that concept of what level drain was, Elfbait, and we put that in our game system. That's how. Yeah. And it really is left up to the referee how into it they get or not.
Yeah, what is it? All this modern stuff has romanticized being a vampire and all that. If you want something that puts terror back into the vampire, watch the series The Strain. That series really, and it goes more by the Strigoi type vampire, and it's really more terrifying than all that romantical. Oh, I love you, and I want you here with me forever.
Yeah, I didn't care for that dragon. GM Cody's got a good channel there, Shadow. I think you'll enjoy a lot of the stuff he does over there, too. But don't forget Elfbait. He's got a good channel, too. As you can tell, he's full of a lot of trivia knowledge.
Right.
Elfbait says, yeah, that was just explaining how the drain robs you of skills and abilities. I get that, but that should be maybe a temporary thing, and they should be able to get those skills back. Or, at least something. Like I said, that's kind of why we leave it up to the game master to determine
how the level drain works in their system. Yeah, we actually, the way we set
How's it going? Like, geek?
Yeah, the way that we set up our game system, we let the refs determine which rules they want to use and how they want to employ them in their game. Because we really believe that each individual ref has their own style of play and their own style of running. And we wanted to make a system that would accommodate a lot of different types of players.
I should have known, Shadow, because I met you over on Old Geeks channel, which is where I met Elfbait. But yeah, I had that up on the screen. I shouldn't have had that up there for so long, Elfbait. I'm sorry. Elfbait says, I like the strain, but it was not scary for me. If it was the vampires reduced to epidemiology, yes. I agree. The first season was
okay,
great.
I have a problem with worms crawling in your skin. Okay,
first
that just
season was great.
Terrifies me. I don't know about the rest of you guys. But the whole idea of parasites and worms crawling inside your body and digging in your skin. I've had nightmares about that kind of stuff. It's terrifying.
But the second season just kind of got a little too much into the biology of what they were.
Well, yeah, it did. I do wish they would have been a little bit more on the mysticism on that. A little bit more.
I think so too. I think they should have done more with the old guy, Sistrakian.
Okay, yeah. But like I said, I think that they should have done more mystical type things too, though, that vampires have been known to be.
Elfbait says, yeah, but worms in your skin you can get from a bad takeout.
Ew, why? No, I don't like worms. Stop. Worms are gross.
Worms are gross.
Worms are gross.
That was the once that ew factor went away from me with the strain. The story I still watched throughout the whole series, but it kind of got.
Yeah, after the first season, it does get kind of what? You're like, what?
Yeah, and
did you forget your first season or something?
And then they got a little. Oh, we just killed the worm really quick and we're fine. I'm like, and yeah, it gets that way.
Yeah, a lot of those.
When you learn how to deal with things, it gets.
A lot of those cool undead type series they had. The first season is really amazing, and then it kind of peters down.
I'm trying to think of some that I watched that I really liked.
Of what, vampires?
Vampires or in general, or stuff like that.
Well, there was The Walking Dead. I like The
Walking Dead. Well, that's zombies. And,
I know, but that's still undead.
I did like The Walking Dead, and I saw it through to the very end.
I did not. I quit. I quit around the governor. I was like, okay, this is a soap opera now. I'm done. Anytime something goes on soap opera, I'm like, I'm done.
I haven't checked out The Dead City yet, but I've been wanting to check it out just because.
City.
I like the actor playing Negan, even though I don't really care for Negan's character anymore. It's like
what was the name of that new one that we just saw with the town? It was like Ravenloft.
From. That's the one that Bear the Gen X GM recommended to me.
That one's getting fascinating right there. From. I think they're dead.
Shadow says the worms crawl in, the worms crawl out.
No, stop with the worms! No, worms!
Elfie says The Walking Dead, the IP, much like zombies, won't die. Yeah. And it had its time, and I think that time is done, unfortunately. As much as I liked the Daryl character, once they took Rick Grimes out of the show, for me, it was kind of over.
No, stop putting that up there.
That was Old Geeks.
No more worms. No more worms. You keep putting it on the screen.
That's the comments.
What's not my fault?
I'm sharing.
No, don't share. Don't share. We don't need to share worms.
When you zombie IP's play young adult title, yes, sir. I would love to play one of your Cthulhu games, Old Geek. John, that would be cool. You don't like creepy crawlers?
Okay. If it's in a game, I probably can handle it better. Honestly.
You say that
no, because they're not on me. They're not on me.
That's kind of how I feel about spiders. I find them very fascinating, but I don't like them on me.
I don't like any bugs on me.
I have been interested in checking out Call of Cthulhu for a while. It's just, you guys are really the first people I've known who really play it.
Cthulhu, the guy
on a regular basis.
The tentacles.
Yeah. It was a big, gigantic creature by H.P. Lovecraft. And
well, no, I never read the story or anything.
No, I didn't either. But I've seen so many movies.
But
a lot of stuff is based off Cthulhu and H.P. Lovecraft stuff.
So it's like a campaign world, or what? I was just.
John
curious.
says, I know the perfect adventure for you two. I bet. Oh, it says, I buried a dead horse that had been out in the summer for 2 weeks. Worms do not bother me anymore. Yeah, I can imagine. Oh,
Okay,
my goodness.
I had to pick up a dead cat filled with worms before. Okay, it's not fun, and it stinks really awful.
I just I watched some of John Yellow Geek's, the old geek, I should say, because I didn't know that was the proper terminology for it until I watched his show. But
what?
Yeah, the old geek is how you pronounce that.
Oh, the old.
Yeah.
Okay.
But some of his he reads like these choose your own adventures, and those have been really cool, and I've been enjoying those.
I like choose your own adventures. That's fun.
Shadow also says a huge H.P. Lovecraft fan for over 40 years. Like I said, I've never actually read any of H.P. Lovecraft stuff. I probably wouldn't mind.
I never read any of it.
But I love a lot of stuff based off H.P. Lovecraft.
I don't really know that much about it.
Worms with a little garlic and butter.
Why? Why?
You guys are making my night.
Why?
Just to hear
that. Why? No, stop.
Whether it's here or up on the screen.
No. See, if it's over there, I can't see it. I can't read any of those. But you put it up here on the screen like that, right across. Like that.
Like this?
No, don't. Whatever it is. Oh man. Gross. Now we're gonna watch that movie. How to Eat Fried Worms or whatever it was.
Well, what was that? What was the next movie we wanted to watch?
I thought we were talking about watching something animated like Flight of Dragons.
Flight of Dragons, yeah. Flight of Dragons, that's a lot more tame. But there's no worms crawling in it. But there is a worm. The worm of Sligoth.
Right? There is a really cool worm in there.
I totally agree.
There was a really cool worm in there. But it had this head like a troll.
Here you
go. Big, huge honking nose.
And a side dish of calamari.
Okay, I like calamari, though.
So you can handle calamari. How's that?
I'll eat it. I could eat calamari.
Old Geek says, squid. And Alfred says, whims. Did you leave out an R or did you say whims on purpose?
Whims.
A worm is a dragon, though, with a
W-Y-R-M.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love dragons? How can you like fantasy and not like dragons? That's why I said a Flight of Dragons. I love the Flight of Dragons.
Flight of Dragons is really well written for the budget they had for that animated
I like
movie.
how they went into how...
I don't know who Chopped is, Shadow.
I've heard that name before.
I have too. Typo, yeah, I figured Elfbait.
Anyways, I
finger stutter is what I like to call it.
I was fascinated by Flight of Dragons because it goes into detail as to how the dragons fly and breathe fire. It was very interesting.
If you guys are down for Flight of Dragons next week, let us know, because I wouldn't mind doing that one. But I almost never use dragons in fantasy. And you know what? I don't either, Elfbait. It's because I want the dragon to be...
Okay, so...
I want it to be an epic encounter that the players remember.
Don't let him fool you. He uses dragons all the time. He just disguises them as people. Okay? He has used dragons, I don't know how many times. They're always disguised as people.
That's different.
That's not different. That's using dragons. And his dragons are... dragon steaks must be delish. His dragons are always... The super clever, whether he uses them as good guys or bad guys, he always makes them incredibly intelligent. And so yeah, he gets scary with dragons, so don't let him fool you. He does use dragons all the time, but they could be like a halfling that's in your party.
Are you talking about Venger from the old D&D cartoon? He was actually a really epic villain and underrated, in my opinion. Let's see. Shadow says, I'll use one at the end of a long campaign. Yeah, an actual dragon. I may have the dragon in the storyline as like an NPC, which we like to call referee player characters instead.
Yeah.
But the same concept.
No, we have a rule in Lenharrow. If you kill 7 dragons, the Dragon Council takes you before them and puts you on trial. We actually had that happen before. That was actually that was the most interesting game.
Well,
aside from the one where we had to figure out how to get the cardinal from
Avenger, the YouTuber. I haven't checked them out. somebody new to check out.
Yeah. No, the other
Hey.
one, the other most interesting game you ever run for us is when we had to try to figure out how to get the cardinal to his trial without getting killed. We were all like setting up the maps and everything, and you just let us go.
You mean Cardinal Assumption?
Yes, Cardinal Assumption.
Yeah, I've actually incorporated that as part of the campaign I'm running for Carnage.
Oh, are you?
Ravagers
Yeah, I
of
remember
Carnage.
because we got all the maps out and the whole game, all the gamers got around the table and we're like, okay, we're going to put some guards here. And we set it up like, it was almost like we were reffing ourselves. It was really a fun.
Yeah, I kind of want to set it up that way.
Game. It was a very fun game.
I made it starting a basic game. So I kind of want it that way so that you guys are actually trying to figure out how to help the Cardinal. And then, of course, there's what happens after.
Oh, something happening.
Well, if you don't remember, I'm not going to tell you. But
I'm not. Well, for one, I probably don't remember. I have the memory of Dory, the whatever the blue tang,
yeah.
the blue tang on.
Which is
Nemo.
why you're the perfect player to play test games with. Because
it's true. It is so true. He could tell me the entire plot of his game, and when we're playing it, I won't remember a doggone thing. I'm like, wow, this is really cool. Well, you came up with that idea. I did.
Yep. Well, gang, I think we're gonna sign off here. We've had our hour and we've taken up your time, but
yeah, now I'm gonna have dreams of worms, and it's gonna be your fault.
I will do that. I'll put together some stuff.
I'm telling you, if I have dreams of worms tonight, you're getting it.
Yeah, it'll be my fault. Night Elf Bait. Yeah, we'll do Flight of Dragons next week. So
I like it.
And talk some more G.I. Joe Goldbricks at the beginning.
Those are your Goldbricks.
You guys take it easy, and we're going to
we'll
end the broadcast
about,
and see how silly we can
our
look.
gaming, we'll talk about Carnage.